All right, so we are live. Hello, YouTube. Sometimes Spotify listens to us too. Sometimes some of the immersions are on Spotify, so this can also happen. Today, I have with me Isabel, Igor, and Marcio, and we are going to talk about journalism. This is not a class, it's a conversation, which means we're going to speak in English most of the time, 100% of the time. We're not here to correct, to judge, or something like this. It's just a safe place to communicate. If you guys need any help or if you don't know any word or how to say something, you can say the word in Portuguese or you can ask for help. If we know how to say it, we can help or we can Google and learn together. All right. This is a place where we learn a lot from each other. So it's a good chance to learn from our experiences. Well, I think that's it. We also have immersions for beginners and intermediate students, and these immersions are not live. So if you guys or if the people who are watching us or listening to us want to attend immersions that are not live, you can attend the immersions for beginners and intermediate talkers. All right. Well, now that I have already introduced Talk and Talk and explained a little bit, I want to know who you guys are before we start the conversation. So I will start from you, Igor. Who are you? Can you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. Well, I'm Igor. I'm from Rio de Janeiro, and now I'm living in Fairfield, Iowa, United States. I work with IT, specifically as a software developer. I started here in TNT in 2020, actually. It was a long time ago. We didn't have so much teachers at that moment, at that time, actually. And it's good to see how big it is now. I've been returning to attend the classes to see how things are going on and, to see what happens. And yeah, that's me.
That's good. Welcome aboard. What are your hobbies? What do you like to do, like besides your job and everything? What do you like to do?
Well, in my current routine, I'm not having like much time to hobbies. I've been studying a lot here and I'm doing a master's degree. That's why I'm studying a lot. Yeah, and also, work and stuff. But when I have time, I like to go running and it's kind of exercise.
All right, very good. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have you back. And it's really nice when we see how the community grew, right? Like I started here in 2021 and I'm seeing these changes and it's really, really nice. So welcome back and I hope you enjoy the conversation today. And how about you, Isabel? Share with us who you are.
So my name is Isabel. I'm 21 years old. And as I said before, I study graphic design. And I live in Florianópolis, Santa Catarina. I born here as well. And I live with my family. I have a sister. And as I said before too, I am in Talk and Talk since January. So I'm practice English all the weeks. And actually it's good to be here because I like very much Talk and Talk and conversate with a lot of people. So about me is that.
Amazing. Welcome aboard. And again, I hope you enjoy it. And I will skip to Marcio. How about you, Marcio?
So, good evening, everyone. My name is Marcio Nunes. I live from my city called Linhares, the state of Espírito Santo. I'm 44 years old. I'm married. I live with my wife and my son. I have a little dog. I'm a student in administration. I'm a student English. My big dream, I want to play to the guitar. I studied this instrument for 3 years. Now, this year, I stopped the learning because my focus study English. But next year, I return this learning because my big dream, I want to play the guitar with my family and my son and my granddaughter. That's it about me.
Amazing. I loved it. I love when you guys talk about your hobbies or the things you like to do beside job and everything, because I must confess, since I'm here every day, I sometimes I get tired of my own presentation, of my own introduction. So I always try to say something different because I always say the same stuff. So thank you so much for sharing, Marcio, your journey learning how to play the guitar. And guys, I am Bruna. I live in São Paulo with my family. I work here on Talk and Talk as a community manager. So nowadays I'm focusing on the community of hosts. So if you guys have any complaints, any compliments to the hosts, you can talk to me. And I can try to help and to, yeah, I've been here, as I said, on Talk and Talk since 2021. And I think that's it. My hobbies are dancing. I love dancing. I learned how to dance with my parents. What else? I am learning Spanish. I've been learning Spanish since last year. And just like Marcio, I am this journey to learn something new. And it's not easy, but it's a really good journey. And I love this language too, Spanish. That's it. I talked a lot, so I'm sorry. And now we can finally talk about journalism. So the first question is about the concept. What is journalism? And I want to know from you guys if you have already thought of working in this area, if this is something that is interesting for you, if you're interested in it or not. So I'll start for you, Isabel. Have you ever thought of being a journalist or something?
Well, I never studied the history about journalism, but if I said what it is in a simple phrase, I think is told to the people what happened in a determinate situation, but being mostly serious about that, maybe, but share the data or the information correctly can be. And I don't know if I am interesting, but I always listen something. I'm listening YouTube, some channels that share some news. So when I work, I with my phone and listen something like that to know what happened in the world. So it's something that participate in my life, but I don't study a lot, as I said, the history or something like that.
Yes. Like you said something important that I agree about the concept. Maybe is about sharing facts, and things that are real, right? Like not sharing fake news, real information in a responsible way. I think this is really important. And yeah, that's it. I think I wouldn't study journalism in college or something, but I think it's interesting and it's really important. So I want to know from you, Igor, have you ever thought of being a journalist or working in this area?
No, never actually. Well, I don't know much about journalism as well. If I could resume what it is, I'd say that is the act of bring information to other people. But yeah, I might be canceled on YouTube for that. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I wouldn't start journalism because I've been so focusing in technology for my whole life that I can't imagine myself doing another thing.
Yes. Maybe working for, I don't know, a newspaper in the tech area. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm kidding.
But if I did that, it wouldn't be like in the area of journalism, right? I would be doing tech, but in a company of.
That's true. It wouldn't be the same energy, right? That's true. Yeah. All right. Very good. And how about you, Marcio? How do you see the meaning of journalism, and would you like to study that?
So in my case, I don't interested about study journalism, but I like a lot this profession because it's very important nowadays. Several news through the internet, but internet exists a lot of fake news. The journalism service is necessary because, for example, I like to know about the happening in your country, in the world, every day. Today, for example, the sad news about the Blumenau, Santa Catarina, journalism is present there. Information is very, very important. I like this profession, journalism.
Yes, me too. And it's really nice what you said, Mars, about the there is something I saw today about this incident that happened in Blumenau, that it's really interesting. Journalists saying they shouldn't share the faces of the criminals on the internet because they are like promoting and giving some voice or like giving some space for these criminals. So I think this is a really important job, and they need to be really responsible not to promote crimes or criminals, right? And this way not to influence people to keep doing it. So, very good, Mars. Thank you so much for sharing. Really, really nice what you said. Guys, I want to skip a little bit questions because I can see a movement in the internet nowadays. A lot of gossip pages, sharing information, sharing news. So I want to skip to question number 8 and hear from you if you think now that we have the internet, these Instagrams will share gossips and everything, can everybody be journalists? Do you think internet is making everybody journalists or something like this? I will start from you, Igor. What do you think?
Well, I would say not, because if you want to be a journalist, you have to study for it. You have to study how you can bring information without causing any other consequences to the society. And yeah, you cannot just read something that you believe that is true and keep sharing it. So I would say not.
Yes, and it's really irresponsible to share some kind of content in a biased way. Then after this question, I want to know from you if you think there is unbiased journals or news. Okay. Do you want to talk about it, Igor? Do you think there is any unbiased
No, I'm
news?
gonna skip this one.
Okay. You don't want to be canceled. I'm kidding. Okay. Isabel, and you, what do you think? Do you think internet is making us journalists?
Well, I agree with Igor. Actually, I think the meaning of journalism and what the people that is doing needs a study and practice that maybe some people don't have. But I think the internet, it's in parts, it's a good way to share opinions. And I don't see this with wrong eyes, because probably you see horrible opinions in internet or good opinions, and you need to be critical with that. But in the case of good opinions, even that these people share these opinions are not journalism, I think they can share these opinions as well and maybe share something that is correct or something like that. So in this case, I don't see problem. But so these people are journalists, I think they are not too.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I agree with you, and I think it's important what you said, because we also need to be responsible for filtering what we are reading, and if we are going to agree with that or not, right? Like, do I think that information is true? Should I trust this? So I think it's important to filter and to consider if we believe in it, if we, think it's important. Yeah, very good. I couldn't agree more with you. And how do you see it, Marcio?
Oh, I think the internet can make us, our journalists, I think it's possible, but several people to show our life, in particular our life. Another people's to show about your city, your state. In my case, I like to follow the influencers about English to show, for example, airport, cities, different cities, restaurants, because the vocabulary specific the people show is interesting for me. These influences, I think a little journalism, because for example, for me, I learn a lot do different words, different objects to show in your social network.
Interesting point of view, Marcio. I didn't think about that, but you think, for example, so you said, oh, I think it's nice because they are sharing information. I don't know what question I want to ask you, because okay, I will keep this with me. All right, I will skip to Isabel to know from her if you think it's possible to have unbiased news, like, because of course sometimes we some journals, they will not defend, but they would like yeah, I will use the word like defend one group, or like they are more back to the left wing or to the right wing. Is it possible to have like unbiased news journalism?
Can you please say what unbiased means? Sorry, I don't understand the meaning.
Okay, I will try to explain. Let's suppose I have a newspaper called I don't know, X, and I always defend Igor, for example, instead of Marcio. So I am biased because I am always like defending, like talking about Igor. If I am unbiased, I don't defend neither Igor nor Marcio. I am in the middle, and I try to find this balance.
I understand. Thank you. So I think it isn't possible because people have opinions, and the journalism is making by people. So I think there isn't unbiased or neutral, I don't know, the channel of journalism or something like that. So in this case, so in this case, we need to use the filter, as you say in the other case, and try to understand the fact, even that the channels are not neutral in some situations or all the situations.
That's true. It's true. And it's nice what you're saying, because, for example, sometimes it's not that I hate one newspaper, but I can filter if, okay, this information is a bit biased, so I don't like it so much, but I can read other things from the same paper, right? So I think this is really important to reflect. Yeah. How do you see it, Igor? Oh, your microphone is off.
I'm sorry. I missed the next question.
Okay, no, it's a question I created. It's just to ask you if you believe there is unbiased papers, you know?
Oh, yeah, that one.
Sorry.
Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna say yes. I don't know how to get into more details about it, but I'm gonna say yes.
All right. No problem at all. It's good because I just asked, do you believe there is? And you said yes, and now I need to to keep it for me. All right. Very good. Marcio and you, how do you see it?
So I think I understand a little this question, but you said about to defend one person or another person.
Mm-hmm. Or one side or the other. Like, do you think there are papers that are in the middle? Is it possible to be in the middle?
In my opinion, depends. Depende on situation because several subjects you you don't involve about the subject. Is I think it's possible you getting the middle because one I forgot one lado, outro lado, different opinions, you not agree these different opinions. I think it's possible you the middle ali, the different situation. The problem connection, Bruna.
I think, Bruna, are you here?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you guys? I'm back.
Okay.
But I could hear you, Mars. It's nice what you said that there are some subjects or some areas that can be discussed without maybe without bias. So I really liked it. Very good, very good. I will change the questions to a lighter one. Okay. So let me see. Oh, number 4. What kind of people are good at journalism? What does it need to be a good journalist? What do you think? Are characteristics a good journalist needs to have? I'll start from you now, Igor, an easier one.
Okay. Let me see. I'm gonna say that the people that are good with journalists are people that can communicate like in a good manner. They can manage some situations because not everyone is capable of, share some kind of news. Like I wouldn't be able to share bad news and in a professional way, I would probably be very oppressed with the whole thing. And yeah, I think they are good in communicate with other people, and they know how to express the situation without, as I said earlier, causing any other consequence to the society or to a specific group of people that could be hit by that thing. So that's it.
That's true. It's really nice to. I just want to add a point here that it's really nice to see the different kinds of journalism we have nowadays, right? Like sometimes you are bad at not at talking specifically, but maybe expressing yourself through speech, but you might be good at writing, and this can be another way of working in the area, right? So it's interesting. I think someone who is good at journalism, it should be someone who likes history because they are sharing stories, right? And history is a big part of it, like knowing what they need to like to be informed and to be up to date, because you always need to be reading and informed. And yeah, I think you need to like to study, because it's you need to understand a lot of things about the world. So that's how I see it. Very good, Igor. I really liked what you said. And how do you see it, Marcio?
So, in my opinion, I agree with Igor. I like to watch the journalism when the person is, I forgot this word in English, direto ao ponto. In my case, I rate the journalism about, I need to say in Portuguese, apelativo, because the journalism, the subject, several apelativo. I like the journalism when the professional transmit the news, the good information, the person have good, another word I forgot, oratory. Yes, I like a lot.
Very good, Marcio. We are learning a lot of words. I think oratory is oratory, if I'm not mistaken, but I will check here in the dictionary. Very good. I loved it, and it's nice. It's nice what you said about a journalism that is not appealing. You know, I know sometimes journalists want to attract the readers or the audience, right? But it's really sad when they use appealing words, or when they, well, yeah, appealing words. I will use it this way. I will see here how to say oratorio. And how about you, Isa? What do you think about it? Can I call you Isa or Belle? How do you like? What is your nickname?
I have 3 nicknames: Isa, Belle, Bebel. So you can choose.
Okay, I will go with Isa. All right.
Okay, no problem. So I agree with you guys. I think there is some things basic to be a good journalism, like not told some word wrong, or be a good talker, sorry, and share the fact or the opinion with a good expression. So these basic things, like how to be a good talker and to say the words correctly, I think makes some people good journalism. But there is an other case that maybe there are some journalism that some people like and some people don't. Maybe, I don't know, think some people with better than other, but not with technical criteria, just the opinion, I think, the feeling about who is saying or listening this journalism. So I think there's these 2 criteria to be a good journalism.
I liked it. Yeah. You said something nice about the way journalists communicate, right? Like not making so many mistakes. That's interesting. That's interesting. Very good. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And I will skip now. Let me see, to question number 7, because I was talking about the gossip profiles and everything, which is something I love. So I want to know from you guys what you think of paparazzis and the gutter press. I forgot the meaning of these gutter press. So I will try to find here what it means. Let me see. Imprensa de sarjeta. What is that? If you guys know what it means, you can help me, okay? Like, maybe it's this is this appealing journalism, just like Marcio said? Okay, I have just found here. So I want to know from you, Isa, if you like to be informed of these gossips, of paparazzis, knowing what is happening in the world. What do you think about it?
It's not a thing that I read all the time or listen, but sometimes I like to have fun with this notice and see what happened in this different world, famous world. So isn't a thing that I see all the time, but sometimes I have fun with that. So the entertainment, I think it's the term. Okay.
I loved it. Yes, it's definitely an entertainment for me. There is a podcast I listen to every Monday and Friday where they share like the gossips of the last days. Just perfect, because they just bring the information. Like one of the guys is a journalist, so they are not like random people sharing stuff, but they basically tell gossips, and it's fun to listen to it, and I like it. It might be a waste of time, but I think it's fun, to get informed. Oh my gosh, I'm terrible. Igor, do you like this kind of brands? How do you see it? What's your point of view?
Yeah, not really. How can I say? I kind of don't watch much the news. I have a personal filter to what I'm interested in. But you might occasionally be you might occasionally hit some of these news, and as Isa said, sometimes it's fun to just read it and as an entertainment. Yeah, that's it. That's my opinion about it.
It's true. It's true. Like today, there is a gossip about Virginia and Zé Felipe. Like it's
I
fun
see
to
that.
see it.
Wait,
It's
wait.
fun.
Who is? I
Who
don't know.
is-
I don't know them.
Who is Virginia?
Luis
Or who
Felipe
is Zé
is a
Felipe?
singer.
Zé Felipe is a singer,
Right.
and Virginia is
Luis
an
no, Zé
influencer.
Felipe.
It's okay. It's okay. Virginia is an influencer, and then Evaristo Costa.
I'm sorry, no, I
No,
don't.
he's a journalist. He's a journalist, and he
Okay.
was he judged a little bit Virginia because she had some babysitters, and he said, "Oh, this is not what a mom should do. Like the mom should take care of their children and everything." And then Zé Felipe created a song saying like complain like a rap. Okay, just sharing some gossip here because I like it.
Yeah, you see, funny. That's funny.
It is funny. Yeah, that's it. Marcio and you, how do you see it? Do you like these kind of stories, gossips, paparazzi, and everything?
So about paparazzi in the past, the person have a lot of success because through the paparazzi we get about private life of celebrities. Nowadays, the internet, Instagram, the celebrity to show your life in the Instagram. Several paparazzis stop the work about the pictures because our celebrity to show your life in the internet. But about paparazzi, I remember the case, the I forgot repercussão, the case da Princesa Diana, because the escape the paparazzi accident, you lose your life, the accident about escape the paparazzi. That moment, the paparazzi is very complicated because there are a lot of paparazzi, several places. The celebrity, I forgot, esconde your private life. Nowadays, it's different. It's very nice to show in the Instagram because they follow the number the follows. Several one celebrity I follow in the internet, the success again, Alessandra Negrini, the most success in the internet after a long time.
That's true. Everybody loves her. That's true. That's true. Yeah, very good. It's really nice what you said. Of course, we are making fun here of gossip and everything, But for celebrities, or even nowadays for influencers, it's really painful, right? Because like people are all the time commenting and like giving their point of view of your life, and the judgment that in the past it was in person, nowadays is much bigger, because like people simply think they can comment what they want on your social media. And this is, it's really serious actually. And of course we are making fun, but it's something really serious. Yes, do you guys want to add something, Isa and Igor, about that?
I
No,
agree.
agree. Yeah, maybe I should stop reading the gossips. Maybe I am part of it too. How terrible. Guys, I want to ask a question that I don't know the answer to, but I want to hear from you what you think. Is journalism always about reporting the truth? Should journalists lie at some point, or they should always say the truth? Interesting question. I will start from you, Igor. How do you see that?
Well, I think they should. They should always report the truth, and as I said, and I wanted to say it again, always with respect and knowing the consequences of that truth, but it should always be the truth, and the consequences will happen like normally if they said the truth, or if they not, one day or another the truth is gonna hit us in the face, and we're gonna have to manage that. So they should always report it through, at least. Yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think something I was thinking here is that sometimes journalists, they report or they say something about celebrities, for example, and they don't know if the celebrity wants this to be exposed, like Clara Castanho. She had her life exposed, a serious thing that happened to her. She was harassed and everything. And then everybody knew, because like a journalist decided to say that. So maybe he should report that, considering her life, that it's her life. But I think it's really delicate. But I agree with you that the truth will come at some point, right? How do you see it, Isa?
Well, I think the journalism, I will say always, but I don't know, manipulate the information because they have opinions. So they share a fact, but they use some artifice, I don't know this word exists, instruments to manipulate this information and share the fact, but with another way. So I think this happened a lot. And I don't know, it's a problem. As I said, I don't agree that there is a neutral journalism. So we talked later. But this happened, and we need to understand that, I think, to try to know the fact without these artificials or instruments to manipulate something.
It's true. It's true. This is really, really delicate, right? Because, for example, in a lot of interviews, like people say ABC, and the journal just shares or not the journal, the papers just share the Fulano said A, Okay, but what about the rest, So I think it is important to be careful. And even for us, when we are reading something, like sometimes we read the headline and we think, oh, how terrible. No. But when we read the article, like the complete news, it's something else. So we also need to be responsible when we are sharing information, right?
And this happened a lot. People just read the title and think that he or she understand the fact or the information, but there is a rest and a lot of more informations that these people don't see. So it's a bad thing.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys use Twitter, but I use, and sometimes I want to retweet something, and they warn us like, you haven't read it yet. Do you want to read it and then share it? I think it's really important for the social media to do it too, right? To know we haven't read.
I
Go ahead,
didn't know.
Tina.
Yeah, point for Twitter. I didn't
Yeah,
know.
finally
That's
something something positive. Oh my gosh. Today I'm really cítrica. I don't know how to say this this in English. I'm sorry, guys. All right, very good, Igor. So if you didn't know that, now you can be on Twitter, and if you want to share something, they will tell you haven't read. Mainly if you want to retweet something. Yeah. Thank you so much for answering, Isa. I really liked what you said. And how do you see it, Mice? Do you think journalists always need to report the truth or not?
So I agree with Isabel because before the internet, we live in several moments the manipulation, the news in the television. Nowadays, it's different because the television need to I forgot to confere your news because the internet is attention several things. Existe conflict and internet and television. But in my opinion, I like the journalism is true about because when the journalism talk your opinion complicated because your opinion conflicts another opinion. This nowadays in the internet several I forgot discussions about the conflict, the opinions about the television and the people's the internet. But nowadays it's better to believe in the news because we have 2 points: television and internet for the truth, the news.
Yes. It's true, Maestro, and I really liked what you said because, of course, just like we were saying, sometimes the papers or the journalists, they are biased, right? And I think I also agree with Isa that it's impossible to have like neutral journalism. But even though we have the facts, right? And I think it is important to know the facts and to differentiate the facts and the opinions, right? I think this is important that they are not the same. So focus on the facts. Go ahead, Marcos.
Another point, Bruna, I remember now about the force the internet. Nowadays, the television is a media talk about the piece, the person. I forgot it. This say English. For example, menor expressão. For example, one case the vereadora Marielle. The television need talk about your driver, Alexandra, your driver, because the internet change the situation. In another in the past, the television talk about only a Marielle, por exemplo, Marielle, the driver forgot, ficava esquecido. Nowadays, the television need talk about the celebrity and your company because the force of the internet. I think interesting this change.
That's true. That's true. Very good, Mars. Very good. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Well, I think we have time for the last one. And it's question number 10. What good does journalism do in the world? Why is it important? What is the good thing journalism does in the world, Igor?
Well, a lot of things actually. The main thing is that they share information, and it's I'm not in position to say how do you filter your information, the information that you are interested in, but if you have at least three sources of three journals that you trust, and when you read something, you have the opportunity to check in another two what's going on, and if you really believe on that, and this kind of thing impacts the whole world, right? Sometimes you read something that only impacts your country or your city, your state, or something like that, but sometimes you read something that really impacts the world. For example, the Ukraine war that we are having today. If we didn't have a good journalism around it, we wouldn't know what is going on, and some consequences are arriving in all the countries around the world, and you wouldn't know why. So yeah, I think that a good journalism can impact a lot, not only a city or a state, but the whole world. And that's really interesting.
It's true. It's true. And like thinking of what we have on TV nowadays, there are so many options. For example, we have like programs about agriculture, programs about many areas. Like nowadays, today actually, I was reading the New York Times, and there was an article there about how children experience trips. How do they like the trips from their perspective? Because sometimes the parents take them to trips, but they don't know how they are feeling, how they experience. So they took some kids and they like took photos and they shared how they felt. So it's much bigger than just informing people, but sometimes showing things from other point of view, informing things about so many areas, right? We have like programs about the ocean, about animals. I think it's a really wide area, right? Like they can work in, they can inform about so many things. You just need to be an specialist. So I think this is really nice show.
Yeah, totally. I totally agree with you. And another point that I wanted to share about journalism is that I recently found a YouTube channel from some guys that decided to help people to not being hit by tornadoes. And we are in a tornado season right now, and watching them, sometimes you can really see that they saved people's life with that, and that's really interesting. And if you one day I decided to ask them if they were journalists, and they said no, we are just people trying to help. So that's kind of a journalist that is really interested to pay attention on it.
Definitely. And like sometimes even global, they choose some like people from a community to give them the voice to talk about the problems they're having. And they are not journalists, but they are at some point. I think they are, because they are sharing and explaining the problems in their neighborhood using their own voice. And sometimes like people who live in the neighborhood can relate more to them than to the journalists who don't understand the reality. So I think this is really beautiful too about journalism, right? It's not Well, how do you see it, Isa? Very good, Igor. Thank you so much for sharing.
Well, I agree with you. And another thing that I think about it, journalism makes people mindset, or maybe about news that was shared with the society, makes the opinion about something, and they actually act with a different way, and definitely change the way about the world. There are some situations that this happen, so I think journalism is important because of that, in the good or a bad way sometimes, so depends of the situation. But in a good way, I agree with you. Actually, there is some notice or information that we just know about because of journalism. So about the war, as Igor said, or some peoples that are suffering in the determined situation, journalism share with the society, or a news about something discovered, or I don't know, some information that curiosity, I don't know if this word exists, or curiosity, okay. So I think that is my opinion.
Yes, I was thinking of the indigenous people, Yanomami, that like nobody knew what was happening, and then when a journalist got there, they took photos and they spread to the world, to like mainly to the world, not just to Brazil, what was happening. So it's really important to have this professional, right? Yeah. I will ask Marcio what he thinks about it, and then we're going to finish. Okay, so Marcio, what do you think? What good does journalism do in the world?
So the journalism in the world about information nowadays is very important because the journalism we know about several things in the world. For example, war in the Ukraine, several happenings this one year the war. Another thing the last year, the problem in Afghanistan, the U.S. The soldiers the U.S. Yesterday, the first ex-president USA, the justice Donald Trump, the history moment, because the first ex-president, the justice about I forgot accusações. The very important about journalism in the world.
Yes, amazing, Marcio. You brought so many good examples of how journalism is important. So thank you so much. Guys, we are running out of time. I really hope you guys have enjoyed. Here in the chat, I sent the link for the feedback. You guys can say if you liked the subject, suggest topics, you can complain, you can say if you liked it or not. And I want to know from you, Igor, how was the conversation? Did you like the subject? What do you usually like to talk about here?
Well, as I said earlier, it has been a long time that I'm not attending the classes, so I'm returning, so I don't have an opinion. So about actually, yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have an opinion about what I most like to talk about here, but this topic was very interesting because isn't a common topic. You know, you have to dig some words that you don't use in your daily routine or something like that. Yeah, so I think it was very good. It was very nice to meet you all.
Yeah, I really liked it. Thank you so much. It was really good to meet you too. And how was it for you, Isa? Did you like the subject? What do you like to talk about here?
Yeah, I like the subject is interesting, and I agree with Igor. I use some words that I don't usually use, so this is good to practice English. And about the subject, I don't know, actually, because in all classes that I participate, I like the subjects because we told some things new that I don't know, or use some different words, and the talk flutes. So I think it is. I don't have an opinion, but I like
Okay.
all the conversations.
It's okay. Very good. Very good. Guys, it was a pleasure having you here. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much, Marcio, Igor, and Isa. You guys can meet me on Wednesdays, as I said, at 9 a.m. Or if you want to attend the Immersions for Beginners just to meet you, you can meet me on Monday at 9 p.m. At night. Okay, in the evening. It was a pleasure. Hope you guys have a great night. And I see you around. Okay. Thank you
Thank you
so
very
much for
much.
sharing.